And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. I want to thank everybody for joining us. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, along with Meteorologist Justin Storm and our wonderful, talented, award-winning Ag Director, Bridgette Readel. I would like to give a big, huge shout. I know she won't toot her horn. I'll toot it for her, and so will Justin. Toot, toot. So Bridgette received a very prestigious award last night. Tell us a little bit about it.
So every year when the FFA is in town for their state convention, they have a banquet on Wednesday night. It is for the sponsors. It is for the award winners who are going to get their American FFA degrees and their state FFA degrees, and the parents of those students. And there's only been 10 of them, but they have recognized a friend of the FFA, someone who does extra work for them, whether it is, well, first of all, it's all volunteer, but promoting, judging, mentoring students, those types of things. It's not about a monetary donation, but it's all the other things that you do. And so, yes, last night I got the Friend of the FFA Award.
Awesome. And Michael, and a big thank you to Michael for going out there and video. Michael, do we have any video of that available? Nothing?
Not
okay.
yet. Oh,
okay.
By the way,
he's still working on it.
Yeah, and thanks y'all for not telling me. And then
we tried keeping this a secret.
Like, why are you here? Why are you here, Dean?
I told you I was there to help you.
Like, what?
All right. I guess I'll just leave that. See you later.
Well, there was severe weather. Y'all had your hands full last night.
Yeah, there was some severe weather.
Yeah. In fact,
sweet.
we'll be talking to a farmer up around the Logan Center area. Unfortunately, they received some heavy crop damage from hail up. Now, that was hail, not wind, I believe.
Yeah, we got a couple of things going on. So Logan Center, they had hail, and there is a picture that I sent to Michael. So if we can see that in our live stream, that'd be great. And it is of some corn that was just utterly shredded.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fairly good sized and rolling right along, but nope, that is wiped out. And then we have a guest who's going to join us at about 1:30, and that's Kevin Demers. He's an agronomist at Hefty Seed Company just outside of Findlay, and he's got some reports of what's happened in the area. Yeah.
There was going to run down some other reports from yesterday. Barry, North Dakota, had some wind damage. Oriska, which is just west on 94 from the FM area, from winds, had a semi blown off the interstate. Ooh. Barnes.
Oh, yeah, there's semis that got knocked right off the road.
Barnes had a brief tornado touchdown. And let's see, precip-wise, about almost 1.5 inches in Findlay. Prosper picked up 0.6. Eckery, 0.85. Fingal picked up about 0.8 of an inch. So it basically lined up just to the west. We had nothing here in the FM area. West Fargo picked up about 0.2.
And you said hail west of West Fargo, right?
Well, that's what was being reported. I haven't seen any pictures come in from that. I think it was just west of the fairgrounds. But, yeah, it didn't have any. There weren't any pictures or any damage reports from out there. So that's good news there. But yeah, unfortunately, they took it on the chin just to our north. And we could have some more storms like that developing a little further west this afternoon. It's at least a possibility with large hail being another threat, and possibly some damaging winds out to our west. So we'll be keeping an eye on that too.
Yeah, well, if you have any storm reports, damage, photos, you send them right to us here, weather@flagfamily.com, or even better yet, give us a call. 701-293-9000 is the Red Wing Shoes phone line for Weather and Ag in Focus. And if you had crop damage, you got trees that were knocked down, you got a volleyball that fell out of the sky, let us know. 701-293-9000.
That
there
had
was
to
no
leave a mark.
volleyballs, but I heard golf balls.
Yeah, golf balls.
West of Argusville.
Well, and as we wait for those folks who want to call in, light them up, let us know, especially if you have one of our rain gauges from Productive Alternatives. We would very much like for you to give us a call and let us know what kind of rainfall you've had in it. We got some homework. We have a listener who wanted us to talk about one of our favorite things, which one of them is beer. The other one's beef. And he wanted to know more about a Croissant beer. And Dean, resident beer expert, he's done all the homework on this thing. I just brought a prop. Well, I'll let you explain it first, and then I'll explain my prop here. Want me to get those for you?
So, yeah. So basically, Kreuzening is a traditional German brewing technique, which it uses active fermentation. It adds to a mature beer. Let's see, result is a natural carbonation with a subtle flavor change. Many German beers use use a Kreuzen kind. Many German beers do, but many beers in general do, but they just don't use that as an advertising technique. Sure. Where Old Style did. They just don't feel that it would be a benefit, but it worked for Old Style.
Well, as soon as you said Old Style, this came to mind. So my dad was not a smoker, but for those who can see it on the live stream, I have like a mini beer can that a lighter fits into the top of it. And I don't know where my dad ever got this from, but when after he passed away and we cleaned out the house, I kept this. So I have this little tiny Old Style can.
Does it work?
That holds a lighter. I don't know if that lighter's any good.
Don't break it, Dean.
Oh, there it is. Hey,
let me
smoke alarms. Smoke alarms.
Let me test your beard. Let's see if this is real.
It's going to go up in flames.
So, hey, that still works.
There it does. You seem like a pro with a lighter. Good.
Wow.
That's a good skill to
Back
I
in
didn't
the
know
days.
you were a smoker.
So yeah, just to kind of so a fully Kreuzen beer is a beer that has been carbonated using only actively fermenting malt, wort, and that method provides the optimal amount of carbonation.
I heard wort and it scared me some.
Yes.
Anywho.
Interesting.
So there's an answer. I believe that was
had no
George
idea.
that was asking.
No, that was Greg that called.
That was
it.
Greg.
Greg.
Okay.
Yep.
I knew it began with a
Greg.
G.
Yeah, because there was a question, and then there was an additional question about beechwood aging because I guess we have more work to do on beer. We'll get to
Doesn't
that.
Budweiser uses beechwood age?
That was always in their advertisements when we were kids.
Beechwood?
Yeah, beechwood. Like
Like,
not
would you
not sand.
Take off the beach?
No.
Like
I knew that was coming.
Aha!
Got it. There you go. Yeah, not that beach, but a different one. Thank you. And it was a big deal apparently for Budweiser.
And Justin, did we have that? What I asked you to queue up? Did you download that yet?
Oh, I excel beyond and above and far in between from time to time about words that come out of my mouth occasionally. Yeah, I did.
Right. So we have a special day coming up this weekend.
You knew I was in studio today to do this.
It's Bridgette's birthday this weekend.
This weekend.
29.
29 years young.
You know, we could say 29, but I'm going to own it. I'm 50. I will be 50 years old.
Oh, it's the big one. It's a milestone
It is
this
a
year.
milestone.
Any
There you
big
go.
plans?
Only if you give me expensive gifts.
Well, hey, if you want to call in and wish Bridget a happy birthday, 701-293-9000.
or
Show
give
some love.
or send her some expensive gifts.
Yeah, or send her some
More than welcome
expensive
to.
gifts right here to the Flag Family Studios, the I-29-94 interchange.
Here's a
on
gift.
Thunder Road.
Jim Hewlin, our farm cooperator for
yes.
Here We
Yeah.
Grow, said we have 1.5 inches of rain on our field last night, gentlemen.
Whoa.
Look
Thanks,
at that.
Jim.
I bet it's a little tacky
That's
out there.
great.
Yeah.
We need that. That's great.
Now so when you're getting, and I'm guessing he probably got that in a very short, maybe a half hour. This
Probably.
isn't spread out over a long. Does that do any damage to the crops to get? Because I'm sure part of that field's got to be underwater.
Well-
a
As
little bit.
long as it drains, you're okay.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal, drainage, right? At which we can give that shout out right now to Ellingson Drainage, who's one of our Here We Grow sponsors as well.
Yeah, they tiled our whole field.
So if we've got fields that are tiled, that'll drain the water off so you don't have water sitting. With that hard packing rain, one thing that it can do is it can kind of abuse young plants. That's young tissue. So that can get beat up a little bit, maybe create some lesions on
So
them.
the wind gave our beans a spanking, is what you're telling me.
That is probably one way to talk about it, yes. And then additionally, what I would think about is there are certain herbicides that we would use as pre-emergent that were on the soil surface, and you get that hard packing rain and that splashback action can get up on the plant where it's not supposed to be and can leave like some little chemistry burns on the plant.
Yeah, they'll
They'll be fine.
be fine.
They'll be fine.
They're tough little seedlings that they are.
They are. And look how quickly I moved that all the way from my birthday. I am so good.
Good job. Good job.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So we've got rain on our field. Our beans are up. In fact, I should probably drive by those on my way home today and just see how they look.
Yeah, let us know if it's underwater.
Right.
You know, low key, I gotta look now. Now I'm actually a little nervous. Oh crap! That's right where the hail went through.
Where's that?
From Argosville to Mapleton.
Uh-oh. You're concerned about hail.
Hey, we contacted Bethany at Irie before this happened, right?
We will make sure that Bethany at Irie Insurance is well up to speed on our hail insurance needs.
Idea.
Yeah.
If we got hailed damage or hailed out, let's
Right.
cover the microphone. Let's buy Let's buy insurance and say it hailed 2 days later.
She said we can't do that. We have to have it time-stamped for accuracy.
No, we'll just wait for the next storm to come through. We'll get another one tonight. We'll just say it hailed.
Say it hailed again. But yes, that's yet another one of our Here We Grow sponsors, and that would be Irie Insurance. And thank you to them, and especially when Bethany gets on with us, answers all of our questions when it comes to crop insurance.
You don't think she heard that, did you?
She's a regular listener, so unless you can,
I believe that's called insurance fraud, and you can probably do some time. You might be somebody's best friend if you try to pull that off.
It's only fraud if you try to do it and get caught.
Right, until they know.
And we haven't done that yet, so we're good.
Yeah, I appreciate you covering up your mic like that, too, because that made it totally legit.
I didn't want anyone to hear me talking about that. And now, probably should have just done that.
Yeah, you could have just turned your mic. He turns our mics off all the time. Nice. So we don't officially have a guest, but we will have an agronomist calling in from up in that Findlay area to talk a little bit about storm damage that happened up there. That was his homework this morning, was help us find out what all happened in the neighborhood, you might say. Other than that, what do we call it?
It's a free-for-all Thursday.
Okay.
That's usually Fridays.
And we all know how a free-for-all goes here on Weather and Ag in Focus, and it's here or there or somewhere in between and upside down. There's another plane flying through the sky, and it's not a Tuesday. So we'll be right back after this.
From breaking news to special event coverage, WDAY Radio and our WDAY News team is there for you.
And now, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum.
Today, I'm officially announcing I'm running for the President of the United States of America.
Former Governor Ed Schaefer was one of the many dignitaries that were on hand at the event today.
I think he's in this race to become the president.
When you need it, WDAY Radio has it now. AM 970, FM 93.1, the WDAY mobile app, and online at WDAYradionow.com.
Hey, it's Jay Thomas for your local liquor store, Bottle Barn Liquors, with 3 locations in Fargo, West Fargo, and downtown just west of Broadway Square. They're one stop away from anywhere. Perfect for adventure, hosting, and grabbing gifts for. They're just right for every occasion. They have selections of the latest wines, spirits, liquor, craft beer, and premium cigars. Bottle Barn, your one-stop shop. So tell them Jay sent you. Locations on South University Drive, Veterans Boulevard, and now open in downtown Fargo.
What do eyewear and weather have in common? Join us for the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast to find out. Each Tuesday morning, Dean Wysocki, Justin Storm, and myself, Ashley Freeborn, owner of Aspire Optical, will bring you the 7-day forecast.
You never know where we'll be or how it will be presented, but we promise to bring you the most accurate forecast this side of the Red River.
And learn how you can save big on eyewear from Aspire Optical.
Watch the Aspire Optical Eye on the Sky weekly weather forecast on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages.
Trust us, this is weather and eyewear like you've never seen.
Adam with Cheyenne Gardens joins us. Adam, it's after Memorial Day now. Can we still plant some veggies and get a crop? And if we do plant them, can we still plant them in a pot?
Yep. You know, after Memorial Day, we think the garden season's done and it's time to just get to take care of it. We still have plenty of time to plant. I'm still planting peppers and eggplants and some tomatoes. I really like sticking peppers and eggplant in the planters because they work really well. I'll do tomatoes in pots. Pots and tomatoes work well. You want to make sure you stay with the permanent variety so they stay a little bit smaller, or even some of the patio style tomatoes. Big pots, you can put lots of things in. Lettuce is still great to plant in pots. You can put it in the shade and still get a good crop. And beans, you can plant our beans, a second crop of green beans in the garden for the later picking. So we have still lots of time to plant, and so just keep planting. Maybe go to some shorter day tomatoes, but we can still get the crop in.
All right, excellent. Thanks, Adam. Cheyenne Gardens is a great place to wander, admire, and explore for the largest variety of trees, shrubs, and bedding plants in the area. Just 10 minutes from Fargo, up I-29 in Harwood. Put Cheyenne Gardens on top of your list as the best place to visit for your gardening, landscaping, and anything else you need for this year.
Thunder Road is open now with expanded hours for the summer. Go-karts, batting cages, bumper cars, 2 mini golf courses, and you've got to check out the renovated Thunder Road Arcade and Laser Tag Arena. Maximize those hours of extended daylight with hours of fun for the whole family at Thunder Road, where the action never stops.
Crank up your nerve, grab your get up and go. Ride the rolling thunder to a place called Thunder Road.
next to the Flying J Travel Plaza off I-29.
As the sun begins to set, your neighbors gather around your fire pit built by Valley Landscaping. The flames dance in the cool breeze, causing a warm glow on their faces. There's music and laughter. Everyone's enjoying the evening in your backyard oasis. With expert craftsmanship and attention to detail, Valley Landscaping transformed your ordinary yard into a welcoming retreat. Valley Landscaping, the experts at creating the perfect outdoor living space. Go to valleylandscaping.com to learn more.
Let the Goose River Bank become your community bank. They believe a strong bank builds strong communities and would be proud to be your bank.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for rejoining us. It's 1:22 this afternoon. We really appreciate you joining. If you want to join in on our conversation, ask us a question, report some storm damage, even better yet, wish Bridgette happy birthday. I heard she's going to go get some Chuck E. Cheese for her birthday later.
There's donuts out there.
Chuck E. Cheese for Bridgette's birthday. 701-293-9000 studio phone line. That's the Red Wing shoe line. Also, email weather or ag at flagfamily.com. And remember, we live stream every single day on Facebook and YouTube Live, as well as Acres TV.
And speaking of that live stream, Michael has for us the photo of the cornfield. This is up by, it'd be south of Larimore by Logan Center. And this is some corn that was standing up. And it was actually really nice. Lettuce. And it is just destroyed.
Can it recover?
So with corn, the growing point starts out below ground, and it has to get up to a certain height before it would be damaged. So what I mean by that is your corn can get damaged, and as long as that growing point is still below soil level, it would be able to come back. This corn, I think, was too big for that. So my guess is the replanting situation, and I haven't asked this of the farmer, but my understanding is the replant situation would probably be either soybeans or sunflowers today.
So what constitutes a replant? Do they have to retill the whole field then?
Yep. So you're going to try to go back in, and you want to do as least amount of soil disturbance as you can. First of all, you can't go in right away because how much rain came with all of that last night. So we got to wait for that. Then secondly, once you're out there and planting, you're now going to plant another crop, but you also have to plan to then kill off any of the volunteer corn that still comes.
Well, yeah.
So
bury it.
That's going to be part of your herbicide treatments.
That's where you hope that he had hail insurance.
You always hope for the good things.
I hope that we didn't get the hail.
Yeah, and Jim did not mention hail in his text message about our 1.5 inches of rain, but it's certainly worth finding out. Like I said, maybe I'll just take a little drive by there later.
Turn it into a video.
Never know. Oh,
I think that'd be a fun video idea. Let's go check out our field. We just had a big old storm.
I hope my Red Wing shoes from Red Wing Shoes as a sponsor are in my pickup. Otherwise, it's going to be a little tough.
You're not wearing those shoes out there.
I'm not wearing these shoes out there.
Oh, no.
It'd be better to just go barefoot then. So, yeah, I better check, make sure I got my boots in the pickup.
Well, let's see. What do we want to talk about here?
Okay.
I'm kind of pondering between a couple of ideas.
Oh,
and most
I can't
of them
wait.
are off topic.
Of course they are.
Totally not relevant to aliens or UFOs.
No.
But this one's kind of up there a little bit, and this is a beef vending machine. What the heck are they doing with beef vending machines?
What, you don't want to go get your beef just from any
Well,
old
I'm
place?
all about going into a vending machine and getting me a burger, but I can't imagine what's in that burger if it's chilling inside of a vending machine.
So it's just like instead of going to get your sandwich, do you remember those? I remember seeing them like at a hospital, right? You'd walk up and there's a little vending machine, you slide the little door open, you get your sandwich or your apple. Mm-hmm. Now, this is in Kansas City. This is actually a family farm. Their name is Greengrass Cattle Company, and they have a vending machine so that it's in a coffee shop. So you can stop and get your latte on the way home from work, but then also swipe your card and open up the little door, and you can take out whether it's a sirloin or a roast or a fresh burger or anything like that. And that's one way that they are marketing direct to consumers in Kansas City. I think I'd be okay with it.
Think Gary's on board with this?
Yeah, maybe you want to ask Wysocki if he could swing by and check it out.
Interesting. Well, he moved. He moved. He just moved out of Kansas City. They're living in Colorado now. So he wanted to move somewhere where they got snow. So he said, "You know what? I'm retired from television, and now I'll just run my business from Colorado."
Okay.
So,
well, he's going to miss out on the beef vending machine.
Now, is that the only place in the country that has it?
This is probably the only, and it's a farm that's doing it. It's their only place. I really don't know of very many others, but I think it's a great idea. Worth trying.
Boy,
you look like this would not meet your needs, Dean.
I don't know. Are you going to go buy a steak from a vending machine?
on it too, because I don't know. I mean, obviously you could tell if it's getting brown or whatnot because the steak is oxidizing. But
expiration dates.
I don't know how long it's been there. I don't know what the temperature of that thing is inside of it, or
I personally,
I'm on the line with it. I could see it being really, really cool, and I could also see someone getting a really nasty piece of meat.
What if it was frozen? What if it was vacuum sealed and frozen instead of fresh? Would that make a difference?
That would be a little
for your
different,
purchase?
I suppose,
Okay.
if it was frozen.
Okay.
I mean, what's the shelf life in this?
Freezers are indefinite.
No,
Right.
the shelf life in the vending machine.
It's probably the same as a fridge, I'd imagine. Probably
Or what you do at the grocery store.
5 to 10 days.
Yeah, because if they're
depending on the
Does it
seal.
say anything like price wise? Is it?
I did not see a price involved with that. Mm-mm. But I thought it was a
I'd
cool
try
idea.
it. I mean, why not? But
yeah.
I guess it's
I'd
if
probably
they've got it on the corner like down the road from my house and I can't make it to the store.
That's easy.
Yeah.
And there are some places that might be the case.
See, Justin would be one that would stick his hand up inside, and try and reach and get it out.
Okay, but you're thinking
see that.
you're thinking like the candy bar machine with the big spirals where they drop. But I'm thinking of one that's very different where by the time you enter in the code of what product you want, it's just the one individual door opens for just your item. So they're all in refrigerated compartments.
He'd find a hanger and he'd try and get up there with it. I've seen him.
He's got some skinny arms.
I've seen him.
I'm not going to say I haven't done that before and I haven't been successful at it. But I mean, come on.
Okay,
who hasn't
so
tried?
Email question here to our inbox for weatherorag@flagfamily.com. What if the machine breaks down and it's way out in the sticks and you can't get a repair guy there to take care of it?
That's going to be some smelly
That could be a
vending
problem.
machine.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure, think about all the sensors and alerts that are on everything today. You would know if there was something going wrong with that.
I would imagine so. That'd get really nasty.
But if it's in the
real
city,
quick.
it's downtown, like our emailer said, it's probably not a problem.
Right. A lot of foot traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We would drive to a vending machine. There, they just walk by them.
Yeah, no kidding.
Does that vending machine got a drive-through? That's going to work for me.
Have a drive-through.
Why not?
Man. Well, hey, along the same topics of beef.
Mm-hmm. What you got?
This is another one. I just actually lost it. I just found it, actually.
Okay.
And this one was a little interesting to me because this is something that people do often for helping them sleep at night.
Oh.
And I don't.
A hammer?
I'm thinking about a beer, but a double shot of NyQuil maybe. Melatonin for your cattle.
Yep. Raise your hands if you're taking melatonin.
I've taken it.
I don't
You're
don't
not
know
sure.
how I want to say it because it's not that I don't believe that it works. I just don't believe you should be taking it to help yourself sleep.
Fair enough. Everyone has a different feeling on what they should be doing with supplements, et cetera, or vitamins. This is research out of Mississippi State, and they are finding that by using melatonin in the cattle, it helps them regulate body temperature. Because remember, cows don't sweat. And
Melatonin does that.
And in the higher temperatures in Mississippi, it can help the cattle stay cooler. It's not as effective when they are up in places like Montana, not as much need. But the other thing that happens is it can alleviate some of the nutrient restriction and promote the production of amino acids, which builds muscle, which is the part that we want for beef. So that's yet another reason why they could be using melatonin. And this morning on Bonnie and Friends, Bonnie said, how many gummies per ration do you think that is? And I don't know, but I think it's a lot.
I would imagine so.
Melatonin.
You know, I was
gummies.
talking.
But does it make them tired?
how would you know? Cows stand up all the time.
Well, if they sleep, that's less muscle stress. It'd be a more tender meat.
Right. See, they're just taking it easy.
Technically, they're still free roaming.
Oh.
They're just choosing to sleep.
Look how nice that is. Perfect.
I think someone just found a loophole right there.
If there was one to be found, we will do it. It is 1:30. It is the bottom of the hour right here on WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. When we come back, Kevin Demers with Hefty Seed Company from near Findlay is going to join us to talk about weather damage.
Music Fest happens in Hankinson. June 8th through the 10th, kickoff party with Larry Richevet, Thursday at 7 p.m., followed by 2 full days of continuous music and dancing on Friday and Saturday from noon to 10 p.m. Join the fun with Leon Olson, Matt Hodek's Dakota Dutchman, Kevin Klimak and the Sideliners, and the Squires Band. Lincoln State Bank invites you to discover Hankinson while at the 8th Annual Music Fest. Lincoln State Bank, banking on a first-name basis. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Hankinson. It happens here.
Now that the evenings are nice and you want to be outside as much as possible, you should check out the Sweet Shots Rooftop Terrace. Including happy hour 3:30 to 6:30 weekdays, enjoy $4 taps, $3 house wines and White Claws, and half-price apps. And on Thursdays, the Rooftop Terrace is hopping with live music and delicious food being grilled up. There is no better place to enjoy an ice-cold beverage outside at night than the Sweet Shots Rooftop Terrace. See for yourself. Details at sweetshots.com or check them out on social media.
It's about tradition, values, and family ties. Pucklet Chevrolet GMC's tradition of giving back to our community remains a priority, and that's why we've partnered with many local nonprofit organizations and events. And our tradition of giving this community a fair and honest offer continues. Right now, you can save over $6,000 on select new Chevy Silverado 1500s. We're Pucklet Chevrolet GMC in Valley City. Tradition, values, and family ties.
See dealer for details.
Your friends Nathan and Julie Falk at Hankinson Drug invite you to the 8th Annual Music Fest in Hankinson, June 9th and 10th, to enjoy 2 full days of music and dancing in downtown Hankinson. Be sure to stop in at Hankinson Drug through the 17th to get 30% off items by Duke Cannon Supply Company, bargain BOGO sale, buy 1 green line or discounted clothing item and get the second one of equal or lesser value for free. Stop in and see us at 323 Main Avenue South or visit us online at hankinsondrug.com. Robin and Ron at The Nest are ready for the fun, music, and dancing of the 8th Annual Music Fest June 9th and 10th in historic downtown Hankinson. Enjoy 2 full days of great music from noon to 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday and dancing and more. Plus, be sure to stop in to The Nest and grab a cool beverage and pizza and chill. Meet your friends or make new ones at The Nest, located at 113 Main Avenue South in Hankinson. See you soon at The Nest.
He might not have a badge, but we have faith in his killer instinct. Celebrate the 10th anniversary of famed detective priest, Father Brown. Stream the new season now, only on BritBox.
That sounds like a marvelous plan.
Plus, watch even more unofficial detectives in much-loved series, including Agatha Christie's Marple, Murder in Provence, and more. Expect intriguing mystery. Expect the Undetectives. Start streaming today at BritBox.com.
As a roofer, I don't have time to fail. Homeowners rely on me, so I rely on Beacon. Beacon's unique network of branches work together to get me what I need when I need it. Every branch working together. And with the new Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. Now through June, purchase online with Beacon Pro Plus, web or app, and earn up to $1,500. Beacon, always building.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep, switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
And welcome back to WDAY Weather and Ag in Focus. I'm Bridgette Readel, Ag Director, along with Meteorologist Justin Storm, Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, and thank you for turning on my microphone. I really appreciate that.
Well, I pushed the button, but it didn't. I must have hit the side of it or something because it didn't turn on. So.
Close enough.
I'm sorry, Mom.
It's okay. We're fine now. Thank you to Steffes Group. They are one of our Here We Grow sponsors. If you are looking at an upcoming auction, and I know that they have like a 3-ring auction. What were they telling me? It's going to be out at West Fargo. It's a huge auction, farm equipment and so forth. That's going to be Wednesday, July 26th. And if you are interested in what might be on that auction, you can go to steffesgroup.com to view any of their auctions, etc. Now, I'm going to try not to stumble over all my words when we have our guests join us, and that is Kevin Demers. He is an agronomist with Hefty Seed Company near Findlay, North Dakota. And Kevin was so kind when I texted him at 6:30 this morning, because Dean texted me at 5:45 and said, hey, you know anybody who's got storm damage? What do you think it looks like? So, Kevin, how are you? How are things in Findlay today?
Well, it's definitely different. The storm, some people got like the perfect little 1/4 inch of rain, and other people are looking at corn and some wheat that are really, really hammered down. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with some of this.
Okay, so a couple of questions. What stage, if we're thinking about the corn, the wheat, what was their growth stage? What's going to come back? I mean, I'm going to lay my bets on the fact that the wheat is going to recover, but the corn's probably going to be in trouble.
Yeah, with the wheat, I think sometimes something like this will make it stool out more and actually help it along. The corn, it seemed like to me, the larger V3 to V5 corn actually handled it better. They've got shredded leaves on them, but it seemed to handle it better. The V1 to V3, which are already behind, they're going to be set behind even farther. It's going to take them some time to recover.
Now, Kevin, is this something that that requires a replant?
I've got a couple guys looking at that. They're waiting for adjusters to come out. Some of it we just got to give time to come back.
Okay.
That V1 to V3, for the most part, I think will come back. It's just that it's going to be really delayed.
So plants are not broken off. Leaves are shredded, though. Unlike what we saw further north of you towards Logan Center, that's where plants are literally broken off.
Yeah, I just got a report actually from someone that is south of Laverne too that really got hit hard yesterday, and he's thinking he might have to replant. And then I've got a guy around that Sharon east of Sharon, they really got hit hard too, but it's hard to tell if it's from the hard rain or the hail. Some of it's just pounded into the ground.
So questions for you, Kevin. If someone needs to go ahead and start looking for replacement seed, what's the availability look like? I mean, we pretty much just got everything in the ground. Is there still seed available for the maturities that you need, or what is that going to look like?
That's a good question. I think for the most part we can scrounge up a few acres worth, but it's going to be tough because if you're going to replant corn at this time, you're going to want a 80-day and less. Anything longer than that, you're really putting the risk out there. And we just don't know. None of the seed guys supply that much of the really early stuff up in this area.
So additionally, was there any rainfall that came with it, or things kind of flooded out?
Well, talking with a couple of farmers, the rain came basically 1.5 inches in about 20 minutes. Some of it was, that the one farmer said that it was down there over the road, and the hour later that it was all gone and everything was flowing normal. So
that's good news.
We are so dry that most of it is being sucked up quite easily, but it's when it comes that fast, you can't handle it all.
Well, and I think the good news is we're finally going to break out of this pattern that we've been in for 2 weeks where, there's some areas that pick up 1.5 inches of rain and you go a half mile down the road and there's not a drop. So finally we're going to break out of this pattern as we head into next week. So that'll be good news. Where any more storms that come through after this weekend on these fronts should be a little more widespread.
That's true. That's going to help quite a bit.
Hey, Kevin, I was wondering, with the hail that you've seen and friends and neighbors' reports that you've been getting, was the hail damage pretty widespread, or was there a good swath from north to south, or was it pretty isolated?
From talking with most of them, some of it's the real severe stuff is pretty isolated. I basically this morning drove from Laverne all the way up to east of Sharon, and it's just kind of spotty. Some fields, I was told that some fields were really bad, and by the time I drove by them, they actually didn't look all that bad. The corn was standing back up. But then you ran into those fields where it's just hammered into the ground. I just don't know for sure. And you can't walk it or you can't drive it right now. It's all wet out there. So
you just got to hope that they pop up and they start shooting some new leads on them, right?
Yeah, that's about the only thing we can hope for right now. That smaller corn, that's the growing point should be under the ground still. So you would think anyways we'd have an opportunity for that to grow back quite easily. But
now, Kevin, I know there's no good time for hail. I mean, it's just not during growing season. But tell me if I'm wrong, but it's better to have this now than it would be 3 weeks from now, correct?
Yeah, because we saw that. I had a customer last year that over by Annetta, between the hail and the windstorm, snapped off. The corn was about 2 or 3 feet tall and snapped it off. And by harvest time, it was really ugly because it came late. You can't really do much with it. You got to just let it grow. And you got these big spaces out there. You get weeds that come. It's a tougher deal then compared to what we're, yes, we could possibly have to do some reseeding, but for the most part, corn is normally pretty tough and resilient. So,
of the other crops, which ones were the ones you think that got hit the hardest? Was it the corn because of more of the broadleaf that they just kind of got ripped up, or is it pretty uniform between the other crops?
To me, it looked like the corn and the wheat took it hardest. A lot of the soybean fields actually look pretty good yet. Did get a report from down by that south of Laverne area that they thought there was going to be some soybean fields that were going to need to be replanted because it's black. There's nothing left.
Ooh, that got.
So I got a question. I guess this would be for you, Kevin, and as well, Bridgette. With the right sized hail, the right damage onto a soybean crop at this stage of the maturity when they're young, would that encourage them to become a thicker plant with more leads that would come out of it and theoretically potentially lead to a larger plant than if it was just the one lead coming out of the center?
Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, sometimes what ends up happening is you get an injury on the stem, and it really doesn't affect you this time of year, but come harvest time, with that injury on the stem, it will want to break off, and sometimes you can't reach that with the headers to pick it up because it's fallen over. That's the worst part about hail and beans.
I see.
And what you're looking for is, is it going to cause more stress, right, Justin? So that could possibly increase yield. Anytime you get stressed, that does make changes in the plant, just like Kevin said. When I think about what he said earlier, too, in regards to wheat, where that might cause it to spool out, and that way might actually put some stress into the plant that could wind up giving you better results later in the season. So there's a couple different ways to look at it.
Okay.
So Kevin, thank you. So appreciate you just, taking the time to visit with us today and let us quiz you pretty hard on what's going on in the neighborhood. Also, any last words you want to give a shout out for your neighborhood up there?
I guess we have a good crop coming, so we just got to be positive about it, and hopefully the little bit of hail damage we do have up here, we can grow out of it.
That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I did get an email also from one of our listeners, Daryl. He was hearing us talk about cows earlier with their melatonin.
Oh, yeah.
So he sent us a follow-up. He says, cows only sleep 4 hours a day and only have 4 to 8 minutes of REM when they sleep, REM. They usually lie down, but can drowse off for short periods standing up and can take short bouts of sleep during the day and usually don't sleep more than 4 hours. There's a species of elephants that only sleeps 2 hours a day.
Wow.
Some of you might be like cows. Maybe you need more melatonin in your life.
I definitely need more sleep in mine.
Oh, excellent. All right. Well, folks, we are going to listen to the market update with American Ag Network. We will be back after that to recap any weather that's coming up and focus on some headlines. Thanks again to Kevin Demers at Hefty Seed Company in Findlay, North Dakota.
From breaking news to special event coverage, WDAY Radio and our WDAY News team is there for you.
And now, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum.
Today, I'm officially announcing I'm running for the President of the United States of America.
Former Governor Ed Schaefer was one of the many dignitaries that were on hand at the event today.
I think he's in this race to become the president.
When you need it, WDAY Radio has it now. AM 970, FM 93.1, the WDAY mobile app, and online at WDAYradionow.com.
Welcome to Hankinson's 8th Annual Music Fest in historic downtown Hankinson from your friends at the Edge Bar and Grill. They invite you to stop in Saturday morning. They will be serving up breakfast from 9 to 11 a.m. Enjoy pancakes, eggs, bacon, or sausage to start the day filled with music and dancing. The Edge Bar and Grill is located at 101 Main Avenue South in Hankinson. Lois and the crew look forward to seeing you at the Edge Bar and Grill.
Red River Valley Co-op Power Halstead would like to share some safety tips to help keep you safe this season. Be aware of overhead power lines that can be easily overlooked and deadly if ignored. Take time and extra care when operating or moving tall farm or construction equipment to make sure you have adequate clearance. This safety reminder from your friends at Red River Valley Co-op Power Halstead. Online at rrvcoop.com.
Mixed markets at midday. This is the American Ag Network of Jesse Allen with this market update. We're talking now with Arlen Suderman of StoneX. Arlen, grains and oilseeds, relatively mixed action across the board. Looks like maybe a little more spread activity again in corn and soybeans. Wheat a little higher. Really, it feels like the trade may be consolidating and squaring up positions ahead of Friday's WASDE report.
No, certainly that's the case. That's the focus right now, along with the weather. We do also have the Goldman roll going on right now, where speculative funds are rolling the positions out of the soon-to-expire July contract, and that's impacting the spread trading as well. The bottom line is the new crop corn and soybean contracts continue to be weak due to expectations of getting rain over many dry areas of the Midwest over the next week to 10 days. It looks like that's going to start this weekend, probably on Saturday, the long-awaited pivot in the weather pattern. Wheat getting some strength this morning, seeing some double-digit gains in the hard wheat markets, led by Minneapolis on chatter in the cash market that China is shopping for Canadian supplies, and that would tighten up the North American supplies of quality milling wheat. China's battling some quality issues in their own harvest right now, with estimates that 10 million metric tons of it may be sprouted. We've seen some private estimates in China as much as 20 million may have low quality problems due to persistent rains, primarily in the province of Henan, as well as in neighboring areas. So wheat getting a little bit of a short covering bounce there as a result of that.
We appreciate the comments. Again, that is Arlen Suderman of StoneX. As we look at the livestock trade, fairly mixed day there as well. Cattle pushing a little bit higher, with hogs mixed to slightly lower. Crude oil down $2.56 a barrel now, $69.97. This is the American Ag Network.
Let the Goose River Bank become your community bank. They believe a strong bank builds strong communities and would be proud to be your bank.
Yeah.
You're supposed to
welcome
open
back.
this
Welcome
one.
back. Do you have my mic on? All right. Welcome back.
Kids.
Welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Here we go. Skies have turned partly sunny out there right now. Temperatures in the low 80s for most of us, and we'll only warm up a few more degrees into the mid 80s today. Not as humid, but dew points have recently just crept into the low 60s, so we're starting to see a little more moisture work into the area.
Did you say that that's a...
Now that's what I call a sticky situation.
Not quite. You got to have dew points like yesterday in the upper 60s.
Yeah, then it's sticky.
That's moist.
Yeah, what are dew points at to be considered as sticky?
Upper 60s.
Like around 70?
Yeah, that's a sticky.
It's the highest dew point you've ever seen.
Shenandoah, Iowa. Corn sweat.
84?
It was in the 80s.
I would have thought like Mississippi would have beat that.
You get Shenandoah, Iowa, smack dab in the southwestern corner of Iowa, all corn. I mean, literally, the town is just corn.
Could you imagine that?
And yeah, and it was July or August, and it was just humid to beat the band. And I saw that. I'm like, it was 80 something for a dew point. And actual air temperature, I think, was 90. I'm like, oh, that's just miserable.
I'm sorry, I'm breaking away from the forecast here for a special trivia announcement.
What do you got?
What is the recorded highest dew point in the world?
Highest recorded dew point?
In Fahrenheit.
I said 86 the other day, and you all were like, no, that'd be awful.
No, I think it's higher than that. I want to say I don't think it's in the 90s. I want to say it's like 89. Is it in the 90s? Wow.
The recorded highest dew point ever recorded, 95 degrees, and that was in Duran, Saudi Arabia, July 8th, 2003, with an actual air temperature of what?
110.
108.
108
with dew points in the mid-90s.
Oh.
I thought Saudi Arabia was only a dry heat.
So it must have been their monsoon season.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a touch screen. All right, so let's just do that. That would put the heat index at approximately 170 degrees.
Yeah, that's good tanning weather.
Yeah, that's a good zap all the moisture out of your body instantly weather.
That's not tanning weather. That'll bake you like a potato. Wow.
That's called heat stroke in about 5 minutes.
Man.
That's like 1982. Put the baby oil on.
Wow.
And when we get heat indexes of 120 here, that is miserable.
Yeah.
All right, so back to our forecast.
Yeah, so we've got partly sunny skies. There's some thunderstorms out around the Devil's Lake Basin. Trying to reach into the northern valley, but they're kind of fizzling out. Now, we are expecting to see more storms develop from about Devil's Lake down through Valley City. Those storms expected to punch into the valley here towards sunset. Now, we can't rule out an isolated storm or two before that, but I think the majority of them are going to hold off till after dark tonight. So after a high in the mid-80s today, dropping into the low 60s tonight. Friday, more clouds around than sun, it looks like. Scattered showers and thunder showers, it looks like mainly the first half of the day. Winds will be out of the southeast and changing to the northeast late in the day. And that sets the stage for a cooler, breezy weekend.
I think this is going to be a beautiful weekend.
A little breezy for some.
Don't even mind.
No,
not so
it'll
much.
feel good. Give that air conditioner a rest. We'll have morning lows in the upper 40s to low 50s.
Bring it.
I know. Afternoon highs in the upper 70s this weekend. Now, there is a slight chance of a light shower in Lakes Country on Saturday. Most of us should be dry. And Sunday looking to be the pick day of the weekend.
Speaking of dry, remember we had our guest on, Quentin Shield Knight. He was from down in West Texas. Have you seen the rain?
They've gotten quite a bit down there.
Okay,
In
so
Africa?
Nice. You are barely old enough to understand that song. Now,
It means
historic
something?
flooding in Texas. It's actually affecting their feed yards There are cattle that are trapped on slightly higher ground because the water came up so quick.
Oh, no.
So
Too much of a good thing.
Too much of a good thing. So this was Hereford, Texas. Boy, it's been almost 10 days. They'd had 8 inches of rain then, and they've had more since, which they were in such a drought situation. Right. And again, we've always said a drought doesn't happen overnight. It won't be back in a short amount of time. So they are trying to definitely gain some subsoil moisture back, but holy cow, that's maybe a little bit too much.
It is.
What's going on with that lake in California? That lake
Tulare.
Tulare.
Mm-hmm.
Tulare. Yeah. Did we ever get any more info on that? I know that it was still rising, and I know that a lot of people have been forced out of their homes and land because the lake is back.
I have not seen anything further of that as yet, and that's the unfortunate thing.
Digging.
Initially, it comes out, it's a big deal. People are concerned about it, and then you realize it's a part of life. That lake ain't going back down right now.
Yeah, no, it could be around for a while.
So yeah, so there will definitely be some water arising in California. So that's just one thing that's going on. All the craziness that's happening in Texas as they are regaining that, and also just a big thank you or a good luck to our friends in Kansas. We've had guests from out there. They have been just as dry. It's been pretty crazy.
They should start to see more rain here over the next as we undergo this pattern change next week. Hopefully that that big ridge that's been camped over the midsection of the country, that Omega Block ridge, as that breaks down, we can start to see more moisture come into.
That will help.
Yeah, let's hope so. Areas of the Corn Belt, like Central Plains too, from eastern Nebraska through Iowa, they've been extremely dry as well.
They have. Yep.
They really need some moisture too. And again, I think that's going to come here over the next week to 2 weeks.
And when they say extremely dry, I mean, North Dakota farmers scoff at that and say, really, you want to see dry?
Yeah, right.
Let me show you dry. So there's always a difference in perspective for you as well.
Absolutely.
What's dry for your neighborhood versus somebody else's. So we have to keep that in mind too.
You want to hit on some ag topics real quick before we shove off?
We're out.
We're out. You get silence for 2 minutes and 50. No, I'm kidding.
No,
we got more ag topics.
He's playing Wordle over there.
We got all sorts of things over here. I got a whole touchpad. I don't even know what a quarter of these buttons do. Should we just...
No.
All right.
Because if you don't know what they do, that's a bad thing.
Oh, crap. All right, yeah, egg topic. Livestock prescriptions changing. This is for a better or for a worse?
As of Monday, you best have a good relationship with your vet, because certain prescriptions, particularly in the realm of penicillins, are now going to no longer be over the counter. You will have to buy them by prescription from your vet. And so for those who don't have a good vet-client relationship, now's the time to do it. There will be exceptions for some vaccines, dewormers, fly control, hormone implants, and homeopathic medications. But in the case of many of the penicillins, those will require a prescription from a veterinarian starting Monday. That is an FDA rule to try to control how much penicillin is used across the country, because they want to prevent penicillin-tolerant bugs, so to speak.
I thought penicillin was more of a... Oh, I'm thinking of prednisone. Never mind.
So is that a common need
practice
for our...
Well, you can use
livestock?
a penicillin in livestock just like we do in humans, right, when you need it. But also farmers are very cognizant of not over-medicating because A, it's expensive. B, when you do that, remember, you don't just treat and then send them to slaughter the next day, right? You have to follow the guidelines
that's a
too.
no-no.
Yeah, you got to follow the guidelines so that you make sure that it's worked through their systems before they can go off to slaughter, et cetera. So... yeah, this is an FDA rule. This did not come from USDA or anybody like that.
All right.
And that also can affect, it will also affect sheep, pet owners with dogs and cats, et cetera. So you got to make sure that you know that when you're talking to your vets. Used to be you could just wander into Fleet Farm, find some stuff on the
you
shelf.
could just pick it up and
pick it
out
up
the
and
door
take it
you
away.
go.
Absolutely. I always thought it was funny. You could get all of the medications in a case, but you couldn't get a needle. You had to.
I got a funny story about that. I went into a local Fleet Farm, and I have aquariums or whatever. I'm growing coral, and one of the corals I had was starting to get a little invasive. I got to do some damage control on it.
Okay.
You're supposed to inject it with lemon juice to kill it without it releasing a toxin to kill all the other ones. So I went and bought needles from Fleet Farm. I'm at the cashiers, and the young lady's like, "These for farm use?" And I looked at her. I'm like, "No." She gave me the weirdest look out of, and just like, check this box and you have a great day, sir. I thought I was shooting up or something.
Yeah. But also those are a larger size gauge needle too, not like you use for humans.
Yeah,
that makes a difference.
Well, thanks for joining us. The Jay Thomas Show is next.
AM 970 and FM 93.1.